So there's a reason why David Ogilvy said, on the average, 5 times as many people read the headline as read the body copy. When you have written your headline, you have spent 80 cents out of your dollar. And that's simply because the headline is the most important element to your sales page. Even when I denied it, when I tried to kind of one and done the headline and move on with the rest of the page, I kept finding myself coming back to the headline, because when you read a headline over and over and over again, you start to understand that, hey, I use that word twice, or that's redundant, or it doesn't explain exactly what I wanted to explain. And so that said, I just don't neglect them anymore. I mean, it's definitely my top priority is to get the headline down. So what I figured out is what is a perfect sort of formula for a headline? And I'm huge on not relying on your gut feeling or what you think is going to work. I'm more so interested in what the market thinks. And so that said, let's talk about the method that I use to write a good headline. So one of the biggest pet peeves for any consumer is going to a page and not understanding within a second exactly what this is selling or advertising and whatnot. I do the same thing. If I go to, by the way, software companies have a hard time with this. I'll go to a software page, and I read the headline and it doesn't tell me what it is. And what I want to know in 1 second when I land on that page, I want to know exactly what in the world this thing is, right? And what's the story here? What's it selling? So I'm all about trying to get that information as soon as possible. And I do it in a simple way. I literally spell it out, right? So up here, I put step-by-step video training program reveals, okay? So we're gonna talk about this line right here above the main headline. Now, I like to do little things above right here, we'll just call it the pre-headline. I like to, sort of just do one-liners before getting right into the main sort of the meat headline, right? So the top line, I'll say something like, you already know, it's a pain to design shirts yourself. Okay, that's another company I run where we sell shirt designs. And I up here, the pre-headline, I say, you already know it's a pain to design t-shirts, right? So I'm just kind of being, human. I'm kind of explaining exactly, hey, you landed here, let's get to the point, right? Let's don't beat around the bush here. So what is it? It's a step-by-step video training program reveals, and then here's the main headline: how to find, fix, and flip furniture for profit. Okay? There's no more second guessing what exactly this page is going to talk about, because here it is: how to find, fix, and flip furniture for profit. Okay? So that obviously is going to pull people in, how to find, fix, and flip furniture for profit. I never thought about that, or, how much profit, or, it raises a lot of eyebrows. It gets people's interest, right? That's what it's all about, right? Attention, interest, desire, action. So here in this case, people want to understand how in the world you're going to be able to find, fix, and flip furniture for profit. And so what comes to mind? What do people say after this, right? A lot of times what people say automatically is we have this belief system that sort of takes over. And when you read a headline like this, your belief system starts to kick in with doubt. Okay? How many times has your mind told you can't do something, or you're too old, or you're too young, or you're too, whatever, and fill in the blank? Our brains do that off the bat. And, that's a whole nother video right there explaining why it does that, but it does it. That's the human thing, right? And so what I like to do underneath the headline, the subheadline, is I like to say, sort of crush those objections so that they can continue on without drawing a conclusion here, right? Okay, so, if they're going to sit here and draw a conclusion here, or, draw a conclusion, they're not going to continue reading on. So I want to invite them, hey, even if you don't have the space to flip furniture, right? Or the time or experience or a truck, you're still going to be able to do it. Now, how do I know that these are objections that people have? Here's the secret sauce. Again, I don't trust my gut feeling. I never do. I did not come up with space. I did not come up with time. I did not come up with experience or a truck. Instead, I came up with it because of a survey. Okay? I'm always preaching market research to get your copy dialed in. You can be the best copywriter in the world, but you're only going to base your copy off of past experiences and campaigns and knowledge. You're not going to, you can only, a true copywriter is going to base off their copy off of market research, right? What the market wants. They're talking, who they're talking to. So I put out a survey in a group that I have that has actually been built around this particular product. And in there, I asked, hey, what is the biggest hang up with flipping furniture? What's keeping you from getting started flipping furniture? And I put a couple options out there that I thought the market would, gravitate towards. But I also left the option open for them to be able to sort of add options as well. That's where I came up with these right here. In fact, I knew space was going to be one. I knew time is one. Time's always one. And I knew experience was one. But there was other ones that they came up with, which was confidence, right? But then I kind of, experience. Same thing, kind of, right? You need experience to have confidence, so those kind of tie together. But the biggest one that people had objections for getting started was not having a truck. That was the biggest one. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to position that, to be the last thing they read here, because that's your memory tends to gravitate towards or keep a hold of the last thing you said, okay? And so a truck was a big deal. And as soon as I put the word truck in this headline, that's a gateway of saying, hey, you can keep on reading because you don't have to have space. You don't have to have a lot of time. You don't have to have experience or a truck, right? So people, they continue, okay, I can keep reading. And then, you take them down the page. But I'm telling you what, I call this up headline the gatekeeper to the rest of the page. Really, this whole thing is the gatekeeper, right? And if you can't get people past this, Ogilvy is right. He's the godfather of advertising, and he's right because he says it best. And he says you already spent 80 cents on your dollar, meaning it does take about an average of $1 to click to get over your sales page. So work with this because that's going to be worth 80 cents. In other words, they're going to bounce otherwise, and they're going to leave your page if they can't get past the headline. And that's obviously not what you want them to do. You want them to continue reading on and wow them from there. But this is it. This is it. So follow this formula. You want to have a pre-headline here, step by step. You can say a one-liner here. You can say things like call out your demographic here. You can say the obvious, counting your calories, losing weight sucks. I'm just making that off the top of my head. What you're doing is you're just trying to pull them in, right? Coaches and consultants, or attention coaches, consultants, and online course creators. There's certain call outs here for the pre-headline, and then just get to the point. Don't try to beat around the bush. Keep it like less than 10 words. It doesn't have to be big, but it needs to be punchy, right? It needs to be punchy, easy to read. So how to find, fix, flip, right? It's punchy, fix, find, fix, flip. Furniture, it's a lot of just, it all runs together. And then the sub headline, let's get rid of all those objections, okay? And I could even shorten this even more by saying without space, time, experience, or a truck. You can even shorten it like that, without space, time, or truck. So the shorter, the easier to read, as long as it makes sense. Guys, you can look at your headline over and over and over again, and even though there's how many words here, there's not many words, I'll tell you that. Probably, whatever. But even though there's not a lot of words, it's going to mean the world, and it's crazy how much you can come over and sort of just clear this up and tighten it up. And even here, you know, when I first ran this headline, it says no experience required, step-by-step video training. And then down here it says experience again. It took me months before I realized that I said experience twice and it's redundant. So I got rid of it. So I took away that, and it's easier to read now. It says step-by-step video training program reveals. That also said course before. So it's the little words, you know, like step-by-step training course. Well, I want to make sure that people know it's a video training course. And I could say for stay-at-home moms, right? I could say something like that. And so you can always play around with testing that kind of stuff. If that's who you're targeting, right? Stay-at-home moms. Now, if you're targeting obviously more than that, then you know, you can bold stuff too. But that's the kind of stuff that really, I mean, it's a science. It takes a long time. I love how this reads shorter and shorter. See these lines right here, how they go down like a triangle? So that's going to bring the eyes down. That's what you always want to think. Always bring the eyes down. I'll probably lose that because I do go beyond stay-at-home moms. I could say stay-at-home parents, but I also go beyond that too. I go for retired. So play around with your headline and play around with it and play around with it and keep playing around with it until you finally get to where you I don't know. We'll have to go back through that. But anyways, that's just I just want to shoot this quick video on how to do a headline. You can really apply this principle to any industry. It doesn't have to be furniture, obviously. And just take advantage of this real estate. This is the most important part. This is going to outperform a lot. I mean, it's going to outperform test-wise a lot. So if you're, you know, if you have a split test software, focus 80% on doing headline stuff, and that's it. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you so much. Have a great, wonderful day.